Hey, look at that.
And we are live.
Hey.
What's going on, folks?
Oh,
Life.
trying not to go to bed.
This is spoken like every 40-year-old. Like, I just got home trying to stay awake long enough that I actually feel like I have a life outside work.
Exactly.
Sad.
Oh,
Oh my God,
exactly.
that's depressing. Let's end show now. Done.
Yeah,
Well,
that sounds about right.
let's go ahead and say happy birthday, Andrew.
Why?
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
Andrew. You're
That's right.
20
It's my
again?
birthday. I
For
am
your birthday
20
that is
again.
sometime, not necessarily today. Identity theft.
Sometime around today. Not quite today, but maybe yesterday, maybe the day after.
Yeah.
It's 420. Nobody believes that's a real birthday, so it's okay.
Yes. It's and who do you share your birthday with, Andrew?
Oh, well, I like to say I share my birthday with George Takai.
Ah.
Oh.
We'll
I thought it was going to be like
yeah.
some like serial killer or something. I was
Oh,
like,
it's Hitler.
Well, okay, there was also Hitler,
jeez.
but yeah.
No! I share a birthday with
Well,
Henry
I
VIII,
could not
but
have hoped for a better setup than that. That's awesome.
Yeah, really. Did you two plan that? There was Hitler,
no.
but then on the other end there was Heidi Klum. So like it's okay. It cancels out, right? That's how that works.
Does it?
Does it?
Yeah, sure.
No, absolutely not. That's a bad weight there.
Yeah, no, that's why I like
Well,
to
but
claim
Andrew's
George
also on
Takei.
the scale. I mean,
Yeah,
let's not.
I'm there too. Ooh,
Like we
don't
haven't
know.
spent like looking at celebrity birthdays, being like, who do I have on my birthday?
Actually, no, you got me curious. I'm wanting to know if any new celebrities have popped up
And the
since
younger
then.
celebrity, any new
The
celebrities,
younger celebrity, yeah.
If they butted off.
they just popped out and was like, "Hey, you're a celebrity now."
I've been hiding it all these years, but guess what? My birthday is on April 20th. Oh, wow, George Clooney. Okay, cool. No. Let's see. April 20th birthdays. Yeah, we're going to look it up.
Okay.
It's going to be a bunch of people that I have no idea who they are because I am of near mint condition age. Just a little more this year.
Just another extra year.
But yes, it is a character level up. Yes. I like to say that.
I don't know. At a certain
Well,
point in time, it's like you don't get to level up. It's more like you take what's the word when you take a disadvantage?
oh yeah. That's true. Yeah, I'm definitely taking. Yeah, it's more like I guess maybe it's more like they're saying, okay, take your character sheet and you get to reshuffle all your points. So like
And
maybe my wisdom goes up just a little bit, but then like other things are definitely going to suffer
But
from
your
that.
strength gets a little weaker
Yeah,
each
the
time.
strength might
Yeah.
go down a little bit. I don't know.
yeah,
Constitution's probably going down. Honestly, that's what it is.
but now you are 2 age cohorts away from mattering to advertisers. So good for you.
I have to think about that for a second. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
19 to
Lost both
34
of us.
is what they care about. 35 to 44 is next.
Oh, right. I got
I mean,
you.
if
I
we
got
were
you.
Logan's Run, we'd all wouldn't be here. So
Oh my God. Yes. Let's see. Yeah. So yep. There we go. James has already put it in, but yeah, it's my birthday. Having a good time. And we're trying to figure out, I am over here on the side trying to figure out whose other birthdays are today. We've already identified George Takai, which is the one I like to claim.
And other folks.
What's that?
And other folks.
And other folks that may or may not be on the right side of history.
So, guys, what's up?
Yeah. Exactly. Actually, yeah, I'm going to get some better light in here.
yeah, what's up? Have you guys done anything nerdy recently? I haven't really. I feel like I haven't touched base with you guys in a long time.
It's other than just buying more Transformers. the ever constant thing that keeps me going from day to day.
That's an interesting thought. Have they released like a new like character in the Transformer IP? Do they develop new characters, or is it like the static characters that we know from like maybe even the 90s? I know they've released periodically.
Interesting question, because right now we are in like year, I don't know, 9 or 10 of the main line of Transformers being kind of mostly a rehash of older characters. But now they are not just doing older characters from G1. They're doing new figures of characters from like Transformers Armada and Energon and things that shows that came on in like the mid 2000s. New toys of like stuff from Transformers Animated. I mean, it's new toys of stuff from Transformers Prime. It's neat, and there's also a new series that has a few new characters in it. The Nickelodeon series. That's pretty good.
Huh.
But yeah, it's they are still growing the IP, but it's very slowly now. I mean, because there is much more of a focus on the evergreen characters, and so everything is not only Optimus Prime, but it's the same Optimus Prime. And,
kind of going back to the basic.
Yeah, it's so.
I mean, it's a safe bet for them. I mean, like, why invest in new properties when you have something that is a consistent like showrunner?
Yeah, I mean, well, and like I said, they've got a new series, and it's pretty good. It does get back to the idea of a Transformers series that's actually interesting, but interesting for kids too. So that's the thing. The thing is, I just don't see, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see any of the properties from kind of the post-internet age when you no longer have kind of the concentrated afternoon and Saturday morning cartoons as generating the same sort of lifelong fandom that the stuff from when we were kids did. I mean, and of course I'm biased, but it's just the market is so diluted, not diluted, but diluted, that I have a hard time seeing that there's anything that's going to be new now that's still going to be around in 40 years.
That's going to stick around.
If nothing else, because I mean, the market is so crowded with shit that won't go away, like Star Wars and Transformers and He-Man now, and all these things that are taking up a lot of space on the shelves. It's tough. I mean, I guess like they're like, I'm having trouble even thinking of a toy franchise with major space on the shelves that isn't a retread of a property that's been around forever.
Yeah, I mean, like you could argue stuff like Minecraft, but that's really a start of like video games.
Minecraft is a good example. That's still going.
But even that's been like a decade plus now.
Oh yeah.
Thinking back on it, like I'm sitting here trying to think, and you're right. Like any new like IPs out there where they're like pumping toys out, that's not something that's rehashed or reworked.
Well, and especially once you factor in, all the comic book stuff, that's properties that have been around since the 60s,
right,
or longer.
And we don't know who owns the IP because IDW doesn't own the rights to.
Oh no, I meant like the Marvel and DC stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the movie stuff that is also taking up a lot of space on toy shelves is all, at least IP that's 40, 50, 60 years old, as opposed to something new, an original idea.
Hey, Rob.
Original ideas are hard, Dan.
I'm aware. Rob.
And I was thinking, okay, so I have little kids that are still collecting toys. Y'all have grown kids. Oh, nice. Oh, I think I have that toy back when I was my kid's age.
Yeah.
At my house are a lot of, first of all, happy birthday, Andrew. Yay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And to celebrate your birthday, I'm going to get Wait, see if it focuses.
You were gonna do what now? With what?
This is
nice.
CDB infused deliciousness Delta 8. We're gonna do this together. So at about 45 minutes to the show, and it's gonna be like, yeah, man. That's cool. That's what's gonna happen. And I'm mixing it with for real ginger beer. This is the strongest. I like Canada Dry, but like this is
Can't focus.
Yeah, focus. Like if I tell
There
my
you
kids. There we go. So that's what we're gonna do. So to answer your question, Dan, I still have little kids that are buying stuff, and we buy a lot of squishmallows. Do you know what those are?
Mm-hmm.
The big squishy things.
Yep, I use some for pillows.
There you go. Of course, Tina knows because Tina is a child at heart. We buy. It's a lot. There it is. I just bought a Pikachu one, and for the kids, and I bought for me Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Rodon, and Mothra. Those they came in a set, so those are mine.
I didn't know they made Squishmallows on.
Yeah,
the Godzilla set. I did not realize.
I would get it for you, but I think one of the kids stole mine, and I don't want to disturb their restful state. But yes, that's absolutely a thing. LOL dolls are a thing. The little tiny dolls are a thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of dolls are things that I see rotate, and we keep collecting them and we keep getting them. So they've at least been around for 5-10 years. Those type of things.
Yeah, like Monster High, Bratz, those types of things. I see those rehashed. That when my nieces were younger, like that's what they collected. My Little Pet Shop, you see that. My Little Ponies coming around in different iterations.
Yeah. So I see a lot of, and obviously, me being a girl dad, I see a lot of those things. We also see a lot of Lego sets. Lego that's definitely in rotation at this house. Always new Lego sets based on either something or just a big bunch of Legos. That's something that's taking up toy space. But as far as like IP that's new, I mean, I think, Dan, we live in the age where you're exactly 1000% correct. My children do not wake up on Saturday morning, run downstairs, and make sure they have a TV show on at 6 a.m. to watch Dragon Quest. They don't do
Saturday morning cartoons are dead. They don't exist. It's on demand now.
Yeah, and my kids will run through a series, and some of the things that they run through, I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I'll look up some while I'm talking about this. But like they'll run through a series and it's on to the next one. Like they've been watching Garfield. They've been watching
Bluey's a big one. I will say, like, and that's a whole funny thing. Like Bluey's a big thing.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Yeah, my kids just age past
too old
Bluey.
for me to be a part of that, but I've seen the
millennials love Bluey.
Let's see. So they're watching. Here we go. This is what they're watching. Garfield, Magic Mixies, Crybabies, 44 Cats, The Floor is Lava, Pup Academy, Gabby's Dollhouse is legit, Carmen Sandiego, Magic School Bus, She-Ra. Oh, there's the one that I thought they were watching. I don't see it on here, but it's like it's an anime, and it's very similar to Sailor Moon, but that's not what it is. Well, heck.
Precure?
Anyway.
Moon Sailor. Lunar.
It's a bunch
Voyager.
of gals, and they have magic gems, and it's totally Sailor Moon, except it's modern and it's not.
Warlock and the Infinity Watch.
Glitter Force.
Oh,
Glitter
yeah.
Force.
Okay. I vaguely have heard of Glitter Force.
Glitter Force. Yep.
I mean, what you're doing there.
I'm thinking, I've just been sitting here kind of like going through my visual memory of like what's in the toy aisle, the action figure aisle, and like the only thing that I can think of other than Minecraft that is not in one way or another an old property is like there's always Five Nights at Freddy toys or at Freddy's toys that are there. But maybe the fact that they're always there means they don't sell very well and they're not very popular.
Well, no,
I don't think that's true.
Kind of comes and goes, and FNAF has been around for like a decade now, just like Minecraft has. Like that's the thing. Like I'm not thinking of anything within the last 5 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like even so, I mean, like the wrestling toys, like it's all new wrestlers because they do age out.
They do.
But wrestling toys and those things are the same as they have been. Now I'm just depressed, guys.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. So let's talk about what
Something
these things
completely
are
different.
supposed to do. And we've talked about this before. We've done this in previous episodes of our show. What are Saturday morning cartoons and what are the movies supposed to do? Drive merchandise, right? So I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll talk about it later. But after we watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, 2.5 hours, it wasn't 2.5 hours, an hour and a half of Mario indulgence. The first thing my kids with our guests did was go home and play Mario Kart. And then they played Odyssey. And then the next day, the four of us played Super Mario 3D World together. That's what the purpose of animation is. Unless you're adapting like a manga or a comic, right? Drive sales to something else. Right. So what is the thing that kids are watching these days that drives sales to a physical thing? Because me personally, like this is why I buy Amiibo and things like that. Okay, maybe I'm not watching like a cartoon, but I am playing a game. And to have a physical entity of the game, it's like, take all my money, right? So what are the kids watching that has turned into a physical thing? And like you, I'm in the toy aisle a lot, but like, I'm mainly either trying to wrangle kids or I'm looking at dolls and dress up dolls and things like that. Or Legos. Like I'm not seeing very many things. I'm seeing comic adaptations. So I'm seeing like cool Batman figures. I'm seeing Transformers. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing I don't
this
remember
is
if I'm
not
seeing
to say that people aren't doing
Marvel,
cool things with existing IP, but
but like new things, like I'm sure I'll be at Target tomorrow because that's where my family lives. I will intentionally look in the aisles for toys and see something like, see if they have strong arm or Bigfoot trucks or what.
I mean,
kids
it's
like
just
Hot
it's
Wheels
funny,
sort of thing.
Now you go into Target and it's almost entirely retro stuff.
Yeah, right? I was just thinking it because like the last time I walked around Target, like it was just like a bunch of retro video game IP characters that we grew up with, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean, what 7-year-old sees the Dungeons and Dragons figures from the 80s series and says, I want that.
I want that, yeah.
The other thing I'm thinking of is I was at Best Buy in the toy section yesterday. And I think, I don't have a photographic memory, but I think I remember seeing Minecraft plush because my kids were like, I want it. I'm like, I want it too. Let's move along. Then I saw Hocus Pocus figures.
Yeah.
Horror IP figures like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Y'all should buy anything Texas Chainsaw Massacre related. Small dick there. Then moving on a little bit where like educational toys. So like little computers that talked and like taught alphabet and things like that. And then more little figures like Pops, like tons and tons and tons of Pops.
We can't even get started on Pops.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it right now. That news and all of that stuff that's going on with that disgusts me.
Yeah, I have somehow
avoided out of the loop with that. I don't know, and now I feel like I need to know. But
I somehow avoided
maybe
Pops.
Look it up on my own time.
Look it up. Basically, they have such a backlog of inventory. It is cheaper for them to throw it away than try to move it.
I mean, have you been to any collectible entity? Like we went to Comic-Con not that long ago, right? And we just saw mountains and walls of all these Pop figures, which is cool. Like my kids saw like Jackie Robinson Pop, which is cool. And I saw a Prince Pop, which I can't believe I didn't walk out with. Like it's Pop for everything.
Yeah.
But I know if I get one, that's it.
Well, that's exactly it, right? That's why I don't have, for instance, a set of like Queen Pops or Kiss Pops or, because again, it's once you get one, once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny and your wallet.
I really, when I saw Pops, not to josh on anybody that like actively collects Pops, like if you like something that's good, but it was the new Beanie Baby to me. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, and we talked about these before. I mean, what's cool about them is the amazing breadth of licenses that they have.
Correct. Yeah, it's basically the same figure, just rehashed, recolored for different IPs.
But the fact that you can get, like I said,
John Deacon never thought he'd get an action figure of any kind, and John Deacon has a Pop.
And that's the thing that's cool. Like, it's even historical figures like the aforementioned Jackie Robinson. Like, how does he have a pop? And then, okay, who else
Yeah,
is there, right?
but I bet there's a starting lineup figure of Jackie Robinson.
Oh, probably. So,
yeah.
like, I as someone who collects things, I am certainly not going to nerd shame someone collecting stuff.
Oh, no, of course.
No.
For
Like,
me
that's what I said.
personally-
Like, I don't. To me, like, it's not something that I'm into because I'm like, there's just not enough uniqueness to it. It's the IP. Like when they came out with Labyrinth with like the Goblin King and stuff like that, I was like, I might get those, but then I was like, you know what? No, it's not
Now,
for
see,
me.
did the Goblin King
It came with the package.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I know where we're all going with that. Yep.
I think we all know where that was headed.
You want to move along. So I feel like video games and bourbon. I don't need to add something else to the list. Forget it. There. Thanks, Dan.
As I
Kids
look up
broadcast,
at my Jareth figures up here.
Hold on, I'm going to backtrack here just a little bit. Where was it? Dan, question for you.
I'm aware that there's a new Transformers movie coming out.
Just a
Man,
I don't think that's the answer you're hoping for. I mean, not really. I kind of gave up on the live action movies a long time ago. I'll probably watch it when it shows up on Paramount Plus or Netflix or whatever. But I mean, I can't even drag myself to the movie theater to go see John Wick 4. So, like,
I got you.
tough.
So it's not. So some of it's just these movies, but also just going to movies in general.
Well, like I haven't watched. Like I watched Bumblebee. Bumblebee was fun, but I watched it many years after it came out. I still haven't watched whatever the last Bayverse one was last night, I guess. So, I don't know. I like movies that make sense. So
do you enjoy the theater experience?
I love the theater experience.
Okay.
I do. I really do. What I don't love is everything about the theater experience that isn't the things I love.
Okay,
So-
expand on this.
Yeah, what are you saying?
So,
Other people?
I'm going to expand on it by example. So
Okay.
for spring break, we went on yet another Disney cruise on the new Disney cruise boat. The Wish, which is the biggest boat. It actually has 2 movie theaters in it. And
Wow.
I watched the new Avatar movie and the new Ant-Man movie.
I've seen the Ant-Man movie.
And there, the process for going to the movies is you walk down to the theater, you walk in, you sit in a seat that isn't occupied because there are very few people in there because it's a cruise and there are tons of things going on. And then you watch the movie and it's just on a big ass screen right in front of you because it's a fairly small theater. And like, if you want a Coke, you go get a Coke. And if you want a popcorn, you go get a popcorn. I mean, they cost money, but you can, but it's right there. And it was just a kind of no friction experience where these days to go see a movie at any theater in Lexington is a frictionful experience.
Yeah, like assigned seating. that
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
you can't just drop in to go see a movie.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love paying, buy in advance, pick your seat in advance theater seating. But the flip side of that is that if I'm bored on a Saturday afternoon, I'm no longer going to think, we should just go to the movies.
Right.
Let's just go to the movies and see what's coming up, in the next hour when we get there, and we'll kill time until the movie starts.
Dan, I don't necessarily. You have some valid points. You're right, because there is pre-purchase tickets and pre-purchase food and have it delivered to your office, and you need the app. And I'm not going to install an app to go see a movie. Like that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
There is that, but I don't get a chance to watch very many movies because I have 85 kids. But I've been into the movie theaters 2 or 3 times because of Ant-Man and Mario, and something else that we saw. It'll come to me in a minute.
Cocaine
Cocaine Bear, we should talk about that, but we'll talk about that another time. But for all those experiences, it was I walked in because I knew the movie was going to start at such and such time. I was on CP time, so I get the movie starts at like 3. I get there at 3:10. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I have other things to do. And I did like buy the ticket in real time from the person. I said, I want to sit here, got my ticket, try to get popcorn and Coke. Now, this is true. They don't layer it anymore. I love layered popcorn. You have to pre-purchase the layered popcorn. So that kind of bugged me. But, then I just take the butter button and go.
Wait. Rewind. You have to pre-purchase layered popcorn? What?
Excuse me. I'm putting butter-inspired oil topping
What's
on my
layered popcorn?
Okay, done.
What?
So layered is like Tina. Instead of just having the butter topping, but inspired by butter topping flavoring on top of the popcorn, you want it all through the popcorn, right? So what you can do is, what you used to be able to do is get a little bit of popcorn, get a little bit more on top, put it on top. That's layered of the.
Nobody ever told me this was an option.
Oh gosh.
Like it was just like, here's your popcorn, and you go over to that little station and you throw some salt on it, and then you hit the button and put your butter on.
The best part of the Super Mario movie was the popcorn. The best part of Avatar was the popcorn. The best part of Cocaine Bear was the popcorn. Y'all need to understand this. Yes, Latina, get layered popcorn. That's how you.
Okay, next time. So I want to go see Suzume in the theaters.
Oh, I do too. We should go together. We should go together.
Like, I love that. That's the only thing. Like, I want to see like Ghibli movies when they do the summer events. I go to see one during the summer. Like Suzume, I saw film Red for One Piece. I love seeing my animated films, just huge. That still brings me back to when I was a kid and like experiencing it for the first time. Cocaine Bear, that stuff, I'll wait until they're out or
well, whatever. I mean, that's a super local thing, so like, I gotta support Cocaine Bear. But sorry, I got distracted by the butter inspired topping flavoring on the popcorn,
which apparently, by the way, is not.
I walked into these places, said I want to sit here. They were like, here's your seat, and order Coke and popcorn, which was $85 for the two of them, and when they sat down. Now, maybe that's different because again, I have 85 kids. I can't see movies in the evening because I saw them earlier in the day. Like all these movies I saw at like daytime. It was, I want to sit there. Here's my popcorn and Coke. You sit in my seat. I was done and had a great movie experience with the screen being huge. Maybe that's the thing. Flavoring is that's the thing.
Yeah,
it's not. Listen,
it's not like butter. Clarified butter. It's not. Yeah.
It is inspired by butter. It is inspired by butter flavored topping. Is what it is. It is because I worked in the movie theater and I know
semi-buttered flavor, salty mix.
Yes,
that's my inspired by butter. Line, flavored topping. Try my butter flavored salty mix.
And I take every time I go to see a movie, like I'm taking a picture of my butter flavored inspired popcorn, and it looks so delicious because it's all oily and greasy, and it will actually kill your heart. So that's why I don't do this all the time. But that's the best part of it. Butter inspired popcorn. So anyway, Dan, I don't know if I agree with you all the time going to see a movie because there have been a couple of weekends where I do exactly what you just said, like on a Friday or a Saturday. If I get off from work early or I have nothing to do, I will go to the theater. Like, oh, this is showing it too. That's how I saw Ant-Man. The wife and I had a day off without the kids. Like, hey, what's showing it too? Let's just go there. Ant-Man. Here's my money. Here's my popcorn. Here's my Coke. Sit, chill, watch the movie. And there weren't that many people in the theater because I guess we're the only people that do stuff in the day.
Yeah.
Well, see, now I'm just jealous of you because you're living the dream, and
just go to Cinemark.
Just get up and go anytime.
Cinemark and what is it called? Movie Tavern. Those are the ones that we go to.
Movie Tavern, you order your stuff right there, and they bring it to you.
Yeah. You push a button, you're like, give me the food, and then they bring it to you. But in Movie Tavern, like you get like pizza and burgers and things like that. Cinemark is actually like just popcorn and candy. I don't think you can get. Oh, and
also,
booze.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of the food at Movie Tavern is covered in flavoring inspired by butter.
Pretty much.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, Movie Tavern, you can order booze, so you have the booze. Like I distinctly remember going with my friends, my first Movie Tavern experience, and watching The Watchmen, and ordering the drink special, the blue thing, because Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
Yeah. And like sitting there and just being like, I can drink and watch a movie. This is great. And then it'd be like,
Wakanda forever had like, I don't remember what the drinks were called, but it was very Wakanda-y names, like the Black Panther, the Wakanda, the like whatever. I can't think of anything punny, but it was really punny and hilarious, and they weren't bad. Yeah, no, they were $18 for like
they're
this much food,
expensive.
but still, that's
Disney.
not the point. You go for the experience.
Well, and before we move on from movies, though, we've mentioned Cocaine Bear like 3 or 4 times. I feel like we need to point out specifically for the chat that if you want to see the actual Cocaine Bear, it is within about 2 miles of at least 2 of our houses.
Yes, and my work.
Kentucky Fun Mall.
Yeah, you can actually see. Well, okay, so let's tell the kids at home. Yes, you can see the real Cocaine Bear. It absolutely is the Cocaine Bear in the film. Again, we have butter-inspired topping. This is the Cocaine Bear inspired
Cocaine
Bear.
Butter
Bear
inspired
inspired.
is the movie.
But like the official Cocaine Bear, yeah, it's right down the mall, and like you should totally go to that store and take selfies with it.
Is it like Kentucky Urban or Uniquely Kentucky or something like that?
That's the
Yeah, what's the
Kentucky
name of the
Fun
store?
Mall.
It's what is it? It's Kentucky by Kentucky. Is that the name of the store?
No,
It's
the
something like that.
Kentucky Fun Mall.
It's
That's the name of it.
Kentucky for
Kentucky branded.
Or-
I think it's Kentucky by Kentucky.
None of us
Right.
know.
But I've been there.
So proud to be.
Kentucky.
And when they had Cocaine Bear at the Kentucky Theater downtown, which, by the way, if you want to see a movie, that's where you go. A traditional film. Kentucky Theater is old school. When they had Cocaine Bear there, they brought in the Cocaine Bear because it was right down the road. They're like, we'll just bring him in.
I can't even do it. But the sound, you took me right back to Platters. Oh my gosh.
I think the seltzer might be kicking in. No, it's a little early.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I do all kinds of VO and sound work if you ever need sound effects.
All right, so I put it in the chat,
That's
but
it.
if you don't know
Kentucky
yet,
for
there it
Thank
is.
you so much. Thank
Kentucky
you so
for
much.
Kentucky.
You have
Kentucky
the
for
internet.
Kentucky.
Look at that.
I
See, I
have
said
the
it was
internet.
Kentucky by Kentucky. You know what I'm talking about.
Let me just
One more thing about movies, and then we're done. Have you all done a D-Box experience?
A who now?
Okay.
That sounds
I'll make this super
interesting.
short. I'll make this super short. So, okay, so we have, when you go to the movies, you can see a film movie like the 8-person one with Quentin Tarantino that's in film. You can see IMAX, like Star Wars. You can see like standard movies. You can see XD, where the screen's really big and high resolution, 6K. You can see 3D, obviously. They still do 3D movies, Super Mario movies in 3D. And then there's D-Box, where it's a seat. It's like a red seat. So don't sit in the black seat, sit in the red seat. And it shakes and moves and heats up based on what's going on in the film. And this is at the Cinemark, too. And Cinemark here on my side of town and on the other side of town, too.
So
That's the
comparing-
interactive Stitch ride at Disney they used to
Well, I
have.
was going to say, compare it to Days of Thunder at Six Flags. Or
So imagine Days of Thunder, except not constantly all this, right? Like if you were watching Titanic when they're about to drown, like this. Okay, maybe that's not a good example.
and
but if you're watching,
it's very cold and you get drenched with water.
Cold, and you're like, I think 2 of us can fit on this raft. Like, no.
Nope, only one person in the seat.
In Mario Kart, now I have not done this experience myself, but I've just heard anecdotally that, like, when shell hits a character in the film, the seat goes boom and things like that. So like it's an interactive experience to add something to the film. And it's a little bit more expensive. It's like $22, $25. It's more bucks. But again, when you go to the theater, it's an event. It's the experience. So you need to go see it in 3D, XD, D-Box with your butter-inspired flavor topping popcorn and your Coke and do the thing real big. So Dan, that's what I want you to do. I don't know what movie you need to do this with, but see it in D-Box.
I'll go see
Cocaine Bear.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna try to make a joke of like some very dramatic but not very action-filled film that I could go see on D-Box, but I literally
a quiet walk or whatever it's called. Yeah, that probably
because there's
use
nothing out like that right now.
Yeah,
they don't make movies like that anymore.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I
was
can't
thinking
think
the
of
same
any.
joke, and I was like, I got nothing. Can't think of anything.
A Quiet Place in D-Box. There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But even with that, anyway, yeah.
Oh wait. Could you click on Kane's comment here?
Yeah. Sorry, let me get to that. So this one.
Okay. So they have a very strict no text, no talking policy at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. I saw, and I'm sorry, The Hateful Eight. That's what I saw out there because Tarantino licensed 70 millimeter 185, well, not even 185, like super widescreen, and they played it at a couple of places in film, and the Alamo Drafthouse is one of the places that they showed that, and it was awesome. The geeky tech brain in me was like, oh my god, this is actually a piece of like film that they're showing this. Here we go, Dan, just for you. Here's some ASMR.
I mean, look, I don't know how many of you all worked at the movie theater, but like
me,
that sound means a thing.
And yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I've been in the theater way back in the days when one of them just kind of melted and pulled apart. Yeah, that was not fun. We got our money back because they didn't have another reel of the movie.
Yeah, if the film melts, that's not a great experience. And like, there's a brain, even though as much as I love video games and like technology, like I still want a big projector shooting an image and like film. Now I can't get film. I'm pretty hardcore about getting retro hardware, but I don't think I can get film. But the prettiest movie I've ever seen in my entire life was a dual laser projection of Star Wars 7. Right, 7. There we go. Star Wars 7. Dual laser projections, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But a laser projector, like each one of these projectors was $80,000. So in dual, it was $160,000. I can't do that. But you can get laser projectors, but they're still a little bit expensive. But that's how you see a thing. Huge on a screen, precision. That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Yeah. I do prefer that, even though I haven't been there in a long time.
Super 8 in a bed sheet, man.
We use the wall.
Movie theaters.
Dan, you've been to my house. We bought a piece of cardboard, painted it, stuck it on the wall. Boom. It looks great.
It does look great.
The paint was slightly reflective. It's good.
Okay, so moving beyond movies.
Thank you for entertaining me for the movie chat.
Oh, movies are great. I could talk movies all day. But let's talk something else. What about reading? What's anybody read lately? Anything
I just
good?
finished reading
What is
Ascendance of the Bookworm. I don't think anybody else is reading. It's Ascendance. It's a isekai. So basically, she's from modern day. She dies when books fall on her, and she gets reincarnated. It's the whole genre of isekai. But basically, I'm reading the manga format. This is part 2. What is it? Volume 6. So it's good. It's good.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
When you say isekai, can you define that? Because when you say isekai, I think izakaya, but that's not what you mean.
No, you're thinking of like all you can drink.
Yes, something a little
yeah, the bar. The bar.
Different genre of
izakaya. Yeah, that's what he said, Heather. Sorry, my wife's like, izakaya, that's where you go to drink. We know that.
Tell your wife I said exactly, let's go.
But no, it's basically you die, you get reincarnated in usually like a fantasy realm or thing. Think of, what's a famous one? Now it eludes me. Sword Art Online. That's a big one
okay,
back in the day that most people have heard of.
Yeah, I love Sword Art Online. Loved.
Yeah, I was thinking
she dies repeatedly by books. No, so this is not a like what is it? Zero. This is she's I guess somebody who really loves books. What is that called? Somebody
nerd,
a librarian,
a nerd, a librarian, a bibliophile. And she's at the library, and just like a ton of books fall on her, and she dies. So that's like her goal in this new life is to read books, and that's all she wants to do. Well, the new world she's reincarnated in, it does have books, but they're kind of like medieval manuscripts. They're really rare and hard to get to. So it's all about her like trying to figure out a way to mass produce. And there's some magic stuff in there too.
Okay. One more time. What is it called?
It is called Ascendance of the Bookworm.
Ascendance of the Bookworm. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Cool.
I'll do anything to become a librarian.
We have Kane here who has read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I just heard my wife off in the distance say, "Oh yeah, that's really good."
Oh, there you go. Then it must be good.
It's really good. I read it a while ago.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have much.
Yeah, I don't actually know why I picked this topic because I haven't read anything.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an interesting topic for you to pick, Andrew. Since
no.
Yeah, well, I mean, when Maddie's on the show and Tina's on the show, we know that they're like, intelligent. They read books.
Read books? I have not read a book in years. I have checked out lots of books and plans to read, but have I read any of those? Absolutely not. They sit in my table, gather dust until my wife takes them back to the library.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, I have been reading, but I think it's boring. I think it's boring books I've been reading. I've been reading Beyond Donkey Kong, the history of Nintendo arcade hardware.
That's
so it's
boring.
talking about.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so because we just did. My wife and I just celebrated our 20-year anniversary, and we actually were able to do a vacation without the kids. We just left them at home and like, hey, here's a cell phone, here's 911, y'all got this. So we did that.
Here's some butter-inspired flavored topping.
Here's some butter-inspired flavored topping. You'll be fine.
You have one piece of popcorn a night,
one a day. And we were only gone for a week, so it was fine. Right. Actually, I should talk about that because that's very interesting. I'll talk about that later. But on the trip, I made sure to bring there's like a rotation of nerdy books that I'm reading. One of them is The Ultimate History of Video Games. I read that. And then there's The Ultimate History of Pinball. It's a big, thick hardcover book. And the one I've been currently reading is Beyond Donkey Kong. So most people, when they think of Nintendo arcade hardware, they think of Donkey Kong and Mario Bros. So what this does is talks about all the things before Donkey Kong that Nintendo tried, and then some things afterwards without solely focusing on Donkey Kong. Mm-hmm. So I've been reading that, and that's been a lot of fun to read, like the history and the American folks and the Japanese folks that are involved and all the politics and craziness. That's been a lot of fun. And the second book that I read, and I picked this up while we're in New York, and I probably should have used Amazon to order it and send it to my house rather than flying this huge book home, was Prince. Notes on every song he ever did ever. And this is what I just said. It's Prince and the history and notes on every song that he ever did. So you can read about who all was involved in Pussy Control and who all was involved in all these other songs, Prince songs, and like how it came to be, anything that the recording artists and the engineers or whatever, just cool stories about every song that Prince ever made. So those are the two things I've been. I guess that is reading. Is that reading? Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
That counts.
I
guess I don't count nonfiction as reading, but I guess it kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, it counts. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it counts. The latest thing.
I guess I count reading as comics fiction, but
rather
than documentaries and things like that.
No, we can count all sorts of things. The latest thing I've been reading is the comments in this wonderful channel.
Uh-oh, here it comes. He's gonna go get it.
Well. No, I just realized I just picked this up today, the newest Vlad Taltosh book. So there's that.
That's reading?
About 20 pages.
Look at us, we know how to read.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny, right? I can't think of anything, even though it's mostly audiobooks these days because of all the time I spend on the road. But nothing stands out to me in particular. So,
well, the book that you just held up, talk a little bit about that. Why you chose that?
Why I chose it?
Yeah.
Inertia. Because I've read the other 17 books in the series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might as well keep going. Okay. What is the general theme of this series? Because I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a reader.
So the general theme of the series, it is set in the Dragarian Empire, which is basically, for all intents and purposes, muscular elves. And the main character is an Easterner in the Empire, which is a human as we know it, who is basically a small-time gangster, who, might be more. But the books, he writes them in basically different order. The books do not tell a chronological ordered story. Mm-hmm. So for instance, this book is describing the courtship of and marriage when he married his wife, who, you know, in another book they've been divorced for years, and you know, things like that. But it's a really good series. It's really, and I really like Stephen Bruce. If you like things like Dumas and you know, older kind of swashbuckling literature and the narrator style in those, he also has a series of books that are designed to parrot that are set in this same universe, where it's very, very flowery language and narrator who's constantly talking about himself as much as the actual story. You know, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. But I didn't even realize this was out. I happened to be at the bookstore today for an errand, and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, sure." Hardcover.
Nice. Cool. Okay. Look at us reading.
Yeah, no.
Well,
That's what makes me.
With that,
I was gonna say, Andrew,
I'm gonna have to drop out real quick, so I will catch you guys
wait.
later.
Before you leave, Dan, are you excited for Tears of the Kingdom?
I've got it pre-ordered. I mean, that's as excited as I get about anything.
I was gonna say, you pre-order something, it's a big deal, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I pre-ordered a video game. Like it's like, you know,
that's not a damn thing.
Yeah, it's not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
So, but I mainly pre-ordered it because I kept forgetting when it came out, and I didn't want it to be like out for 2 weeks before I remembered. So,
Tears of the Kingdom is released for the Nintendo Switch on May the 12th.
And Matt Mercer will be doing the voice.
And Matt Mercer is doing the voice of the evil wizard Ganondorf.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
See? Also a thing I didn't know. So,
hey.
Good night, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
See you, Dan.
See ya.
Cheers. So, you know, okay, since I'll talk to, if it's okay.
Yes.
Talk about Tears of the Kingdom just for a little bit.
Yeah, in fact, I want to ask before you get into it, I want to ask about the pre-ordering, because I went to look at that a couple of days ago. Okay, and this is me just not knowing a whole lot about this. So we want the physical media. Is that the only thing that's for pre-order, or can you also pre-order the digital copy somehow?
Welcome to Nintendo Corner. We're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Not Tears, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, so thank you with the production. That's your producer brain right there. So you can pre-order this game in a bunch of different places, a myriad of different places. If you pre-order it from GameStop, you get, someone help me in the comments, you get something if you pre-order from GameStop. It'll come to me in a minute. If you pre-order from Walmart, you get a wall scroll that has the broken Master Sword on it. If you pre-order it from Best Buy, I think you get a wooden plaque. No, you get that's what it is. GameStop, you get a wooden plaque. Best Buy, you get an art print. Walmart, you get a scroll. Amazon Japan, you get a spoon and fork. Okay, whatever. So pick your cool doodad. I don't remember what Amazon USA does, but like there's lots of places you can pre-order it, and they want your money, so they're coming up with these cool Zelda things. I'm a sucker. I pre-ordered everything everywhere and just gave Nintendo all my money. Okay, no, I didn't.
Everywhere, all
but I really wanted to. I pre-ordered everything and then picked and chose what I wanted and canceled the other pre-orders. Like, okay, so I'm going with the art. I think I went with the art print rather than the wooden plaque, or maybe I went with the wooden plaque.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wooden plaque. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. It's quite pretty. There is a collector's edition of Four Tears of the Kingdom, and it is not quite impossible, but nigh impossible to get. Now, unlike the previous collector's editions, where you got the Master Edition, or Master Sword Edition, where it came with like a sword and was huge and gorgeous. No, like that's not the case. It is a box, and it comes with a book, a poster, and a couple little like figurines. So it's not like this huge, amazing thing that you would expect from a tentpole, award-winning franchise. It's not that. But it's still pretty cool, and it's $130 versus the Master Edition, which was like $200. But when they go up for pre-order, they disappear instantly. Because scalpers are the devil, bots are the devil, like whatever. But if you can secure it, there's some cool stuff that can be had. So keep your eyes peeled on like Wario64 on Twitter and Cheat Behind Games and things like that. Like I don't think Nintendo is going to I don't think it's limited. I don't think it's a limited edition. I think it's a collector's edition. So just like Metroid, where the collector's edition of Metroid, like it instantly sold out, disappeared. But after release, they popped up occasionally. As long as you were fast, you can get it. My guess is that's how this will be too. Like, I don't think it's limited and painstaking like Square Enix and their Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remake baloney escapades that has. We'll talk about that another time. So yes, who watched the third and final trailer? Anyone in the comments? Third and final trailer.
I have not.
Okay, and I want to try and make this brief because I could literally talk about this all day, but I'm not going to, even though I want to. I think the Breath of the Wild trailer number 3, the one that came out in the end of 2016, maybe it was 2017, was one of the most. It's a perfect trailer. Perfect trailer. To this day, when I play this trailer, like I get all goosebumpy and teary-eyed. And I wasn't sure if that was still true until I played it for one of my coworkers, and I had to turn around and go, so beautiful, because this is like the first time we hear Zelda talking and the environment, and Breath of the Wild was a new thing for Zelda. It's the perfect freaking trailer, right? So I'll still get all misty-eyed when this comes out. So this is the third trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. And obviously, we can't recreate the first time that you see something. But I have to say that Tears of the Kingdom trailer was, if that thing is perfect, this thing was a 9.5. It was gorgeous, and it was set up very similarly where show the environment, show animals running around, show Link, show things going awry, show battles, show puzzles, show crazy cinema things. Like, it was the same formula. They did a really, 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 really good job, which I think some of you guys saw. So I am excited and pumped for Tears of the Kingdom, but you have to level set, because Breath of the Wild was such a big jump to being almost not. It was not perfect. There are flaws in the game. I think there should have been more dungeons. I had issues with broken weapons. I would have liked to see more music and things like that. But all those are nitpicks compared to everything else that was amazing. So since that experience can't be recreated because it was so new, we really have to okay, this is an existing engine, existing assets. It's new stuff, obviously. We're not going to get the same experience that we saw with Breath of the Wild. But I think we're going to get. It's the biggest Switch game ever. I think it's 18 gigs, so it needs that's why it costs more, because it's using the big juicy Switch cards rather than the previous 16 gig juice. That's why it costs a little bit more. It literally costs more for bigger memory card, right? So I think that's why it's costing more. But I think it's going to be an awesome experience. Hopefully they have more dungeons like the Divine Beast, and they have more music in the game, and the breakable weapons aren't quite as much of a pain. I already see climbing is not going to be as much as a pain. They have a couple mechanics to help you climbing. I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm all in. All in. Wait. All in.
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm totally with you. Yeah, you're not going to recapture the magic of this brand new world and this brand new mechanic, but at least in my case, and I am, as if you've been on this channel before, I'm currently playing through Breath of the Wild now for the first time. I am way late to the game.
I'm way late because I still haven't picked up. I got chided the other day by a coworker and a patient of ours because I was like, "Oh yeah, Matt Mercer's going to begin," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's so great."
Yep.
I like it when, and basically they were talking to me like I'd played Breath of the Wild, and I was like, I have to admit, I have not picked up Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tina. Right?
But the thing is,
I don't play my Switch as often. I'm usually on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
sure, yeah. And this game, I think you can totally play Tears of the Kingdom without playing Breath of the Wild.
Oh, for sure.
Which actually, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't play Breath of the Wild, because those of us that played Breath of the Wild, we're so spoiled with perfection. Going to Tears of the Kingdom. It's okay, you can't top perfection. Literally, you can't do it. So you going to Tears of the Kingdom straight up, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is great!" That's how you talk.
I don't know, because I was just about to say that the thing that I love about Tears of the Kingdom coming out, from what I can tell anyway, is that it gives me just more of this amazing world. I am really loving the world that you play in Breath of the Wild, and I think that's part of the reason my wife and I are playing it together. I think that's part of the reason we haven't, to this day, we haven't gone to defeat Ganon. We've done a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to beat the
stuff.
spoilers. Ganon at the end.
I mean, I already know this. Like, I haven't seen things, haven't spoiled myself. I spoil myself on everything, Rob. I mean, like, come on. Like, I know that you can just immediately start the end game fairly quickly in Breath of the Wild. You haven't played Annie, Hayden? I would suggest Wind Waker.
We have a conversation. But yeah, Tina, I'm not shaming you on not playing Breath of the Wild. There are several people in my circle who are gamers, Andrew, you included, who have not finished or don't want to finish Breath of the Wild because you just want to keep doing things in the world. And now, like, here's a new game coming out. Like, get to it. Like, okay, do you really? Like, part of the fun of Breath of the Wild is you don't have to finish the game. You could just baloney around as much as you want to. So Tears of the Kingdom should not force you to finish the game if you don't want to. Now, should you finish the game? Yeah, because the ending is pretty freaking daggone epic. And it gets you ready for this thing that's coming out soon. But you could totally buy Tears of the Kingdom like 6 months from now. A year from now.
I think that's why I'm so spoiled. Like, it's not something that I can't like pick up later. You know, something like that has staying power. We were going to go full circle. Like, Zelda is one of those things that has staying power. It's been around for decades. I don't have that FOMO of missing out. Like, I'm a little bit behind as I've gotten older. I've gotten a little bit more laggy on when I pick up games. Like, I'm excited about Limited Run's One Shot that's coming out. And that game's been out since what, 2016?
Oh yeah. Good on you, right?
Yeah. So I'm like,
Zelda's not going anywhere. You will be able to buy, just like today, you can go to any store and buy Breath of the Wild. Like, I literally saw it yesterday. Like, oh, there's Breath of the Wild. You will be able to buy Tears of the Kingdom a year from now, 2 years from now. It's not that I don't want to play Zelda. It's that I keep getting distracted by other things. I do own Breath of the Wild, but it's still in the plastic.
Rob, I figured you could relate to this.
Yeah.
I did open Breath of the Wild, and so but I did later on buy a digital copy because I kept playing it, and like, you know, again, I have 85 kids, and they're like throwing things around. So Yep.
Yes, and James, I'm really excited about Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. It comes out right before my birthday, so I will be picking that up. I'm really big, and that's the other thing. Like, I'm more apt to pick up indie games these days, something that's a fairly quick play that I can play quite readily, versus something that's a long game that you have to invest hours and hours and hours and hours in. It's not that you don't enjoy those games. It's just I want something that gives me that ADHD, like, yes, I can complete this fairly quickly without losing focus.
I got two for you. One, Shinchan, My Summer Adventures as the title keeps going, but it's based on the Shinchan anime manga. So you know who Shinchan is, right? All right. So there's that. My Summer Adventures as a fake, whatever. Internet, help me out. And number two, Lil Gator, Lil, Lil Gator. Yeah. Those are Lil Gator, especially. It's a very Breath of the Wild type game, like the art style. Like, you play it for 10 seconds, you're like, yeah, these guys love Breath of the Wild. There's a world is similar, but you're a Lil Gator, and like, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot of maintain your childhood as even when you become an adult themes in this game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I even though it's like, you know, it's cheap, it's not that long, Breath of the Wild vibes. You're a little gator, you're whacking stuff. It's great. Absolutely check out Little Gator. And Shinchan, My Summer Vacation Adventures as a summer.
There you go.
Me and the professor on summer vacation, the endless 7 days. See, I got 7. I got summer vacation. And Shinchan. I just got the word wrong.
This title reminds me of all these current animes that come out. Like, they have like 20 things going on in the titles, and you're just like, it'll be around for like 12 episodes. That's it.
Yeah. Like, the anime I've been watching recently is the one where it's like it's hard to date an otaku, and I can never get the name right. But like, every episode I watch, I'm like, it kind of hits a little closer. Like, that's why I can't watch Big Bang Theory. It's like, these nerds are talking about my stuff. I can't get down with this. Anime is like, I'm that guy. Oh, I'm that gal. Or my friends are this person. They're that person. Like, but it's still super entertaining. But I can never. If you ask me to say the name, I got nothing.
Fair enough.
Look at me trying to Google this. I don't like to Google this online. So there you go. That is my Tears of the Kingdom. We talked about Mario movie rant. There you go. I'm done.
It's all right. I think I'm going to need to call it a night as well, folks.
I gotta get up bright and early for stuffs.
for stuff. All the stuff.
Adulting.
I love when
All
we
the
do this.
adulting stuff. Yep. Hey, this is fun. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, everybody out there in the comments for joining. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Yeah. And one more time, Andrew. Happy birthday! Yeah. 420.
Mine's empty now, but yay.
All right.
Awesome.
Y'all have a good one. Love one another. Keep gaming. Happy birthday. Peace.
See you
y'all
next month.
Yep.